Thank you very much for staying with us. This is Crown Television, and you're watching the Grand News. Before we get into the details, just a reminder, you can follow Crown TV on DSTV channel 277, on GoTV channel 23, and on Topstar channel 89, and Star Times channel 543. We are also live online as CrownTVZambia on Facebook and on YouTube. The story is making headlines as we start the news. President HH urges LUAPULA voters to renew UPND mandate. Sports betting addiction tears family apart. MUNDUBILE pledges to respect HH once in opposition. And in sports, soccer fraternity concerned over NORA'S continuous absence. My name is Seidlitz Nkhonjera to present you with the details. President Hakainde Hichilema has appealed to the people of LUAPULA province to renew the mandate of the UPND in the August general elections, saying continued support for his administration will ensure the sustained implementation of key development programs such as the free education and the Constituency Development Fund. The head of state made these remarks Monday morning shortly after arriving at Mansa Airport, where he was welcomed by LUAPULA Province Permanent Secretary Prudence Chinama Kangwa, government officials, party leaders, and scores of residents. Addressing the gathering, President Hichilema cautioned voters against voting for what he described as recycled politicians.
President Hakainde Hichilema has arrived in Mansa district of LUAPULA province for a one-day working visit where he is expected to engage with the UPND provincial structures. The head of state was welcomed at Mansa Airport by the Provincial Permanent Secretary and the UPND chairperson alongside party officials and government representatives, and not forgetting scores of residents who gathered early to receive him.
You are welcome to LUAPULA. LUAPULA is your second home. We are very excited to receive you, Mr. President. We know you have a very busy schedule going around the provinces to meet your members, so that you can encourage them as we give you the second mandate to continue delivering on your promise for this country.
Addressing the crowd, President Hichilema appealed to the people of LUAPULA to renew the mandate of the UPND, saying continuity is key to sustaining development programs such as free education and the Constituency Development Fund.
We deliver for you, but we also know that although we've delivered a lot of things, we still have a lot of work to do ahead of us. That's why we are asking you to give us another mandate to continue delivering. We want our children to remain in school under free education.
He further cautioned voters against politicians who have failed them before.
Zambia to change it. Let's not be cheated. The same people who destroy the economy want to come back. What do they want to do in government? We went to register fix. Very simple. Same money. We work together. We continue delivering for the people of Zambia.
After engaging with the UPND structures in a closed-door meeting, the president is expected to hold a similar engagement in Kasama. Chikondi Piri, Crown TV News, Mansa.
Thank you very much, Chikondi Piri, for that report. Now, what started as passion for football and hope for making quick money through betting has landed a 33-year-old man of Lusaka's Mtendere Township before the Charleston local court. Mwiche Namwanga is facing marital troubles after his wife, Patience Chitoshi, accused him of neglecting his family due to an addiction to sports betting and alcohol. According to Patience, Mwiche became heavily involved in sports betting in a bid to win money, but what initially appeared to be a harmless pastime gradually turned into a gambling addiction that left him burdened with debt. She told the court that her husband's betting habit has negatively affected his responsibilities as a husband and father, alleging that he spends more time gambling and drinking than caring for his family.
Football betting has become one of the many hobbies enjoyed by most men. However, what many fail to realize is that what begins as harmless entertainment can gradually turn into an addiction with devastating consequences. For 33-year-old Mwiche Hamuwanga, what started as an innocent attempt to make money after losing his job eventually brought more problems than rewards, particularly in his marriage. Hoping that football betting would provide him with an income, Mwiche became deeply involved in the habit, which soon began affecting his relationship with his wife, 34-year-old Patience Chidoshi. According to Patience, Mwiche's obsession with betting reached alarming levels. On one occasion, he allegedly woke her up in the middle of the night by splashing water on her while she slept, demanding money to place bets. She told the court that he would threaten to chase her from the house if she refused to comply. Out of fear and a desire to keep peace in the home, Patience says she often gave in to his demands and even borrowed money for him to continue betting. She further tells court that Mwiche forced her to use her payslip and personal details to obtain loans from various lending institutions, which accumulated to more than 60,000 kwacha. However, the betting problem was not the only issue that brought the matter before the court. Patience explains that while men are usually hired to assist with household chores, cooking, cleaning, washing, and caring for children, Mwiche took all responsibilities, losing his job. At the end of each month, he would allegedly demand payment from her for looking after their own children. Having already developed fear of her husband, Patience says she paid him whenever he made such demands. She also informs the court that she had on numerous occasions sought intervention from Mwiche's family in an effort to resolve their marital problems, but all attempts proved unsuccessful. Left with no other option, she eventually took the matter to court. Upon hearing his wife's testimony, Mwiche did not waste the court's time. He admitted his wrongdoing, apologized repeatedly, and pleaded for a second chance. He acknowledged that his behavior had been unacceptable and told the court that he needed counseling in order to become a better husband and father. Although Mwiche apologized several times during the proceedings, Magistrate Charity Milambo advised him that true remorse is demonstrated through actions rather than just words. She urged him to prove that he was sorry by changing his behavior. Magistrate Milambo granted the couple, particularly Mwiche, 3 months to work on reforming his conduct, while Patience observes whether there is genuine change. She advised Patience that if his behavior does not improve within the period, she would return to court and pursue a divorce. After stepping down from the dock, the couple embraced as a sign of reconciliation and hugged each other. For Mwiche, the experience appeared to be a wake-up call, as he finally came to realize that football betting was simply not worth the damage it had caused to his family and marriage. Kondej Sachingelesu Ngandu, reporting for CrownTV News in Osaka.
Thank you, Nkundeji Sachingalesu, for that report. Now, opposition leader Brian MUNDUBILE says he will respect and work with President Hakainde Hichilema once MUNDUBILE becomes a head of state, pledging not to persecute him. Speaking at a mega rally in Makululu, Kawe, MUNDUBILE said he would utilize Hichilema's experience by assigning him duties that require former presidents. He also promised to restore the Ministry of Traditional Affairs to strengthen the role and dignity of traditional leaders. For youths, MUNDUBILE pledged to establish a youth entrepreneurs desk at State House to improve access to loans and empowerment opportunities.
They've continued drawing huge crowds since the official launched their campaigns on the COPPERBELT province. Opposition leader Brian MUNDUBILE and his running mate Makebi Zulu were greeted by a sea of supporters as they headlined a mega rally in Kawe densely populated Makululu township. The duo used the platform to deliver what they described as a message of hope, economic revival, and national unity to residents.
Muli ba youth, muli balaba nensu ba small scale miner, babetatu ba jerabo, muli ba youth mwinyomo. Number 2, nkonkele ba farmer, bashimulimi nimiko nkaimwe. Number 3, nkonkele ba marketia, banyine fwe, wanakulumutinta, nemisepela pamakasa, nimwe nkonkele. Number 3, nkonkele ba street vendor, abanensu babaluisha pamusebo. Ba bus driver na bayango driver na babele nimiko nkalelo.
MUNDUBILE says his administration will prioritize restoring the dignity of Zambians by improving livelihoods and creating opportunities for all Zambians.
Ba UPND mweba nensu ndemieba, na imebele mwikwata mwenso, ukulusa kwena mulelusa, ukuwalia kwa ni president, lelo mwikwata mwenso yo, mwikwata mwenso wane, mwiyambo kulalonga supe mbutuke yo.
The opposition leader also pledged to respect President Hakainde Hichilema once he leaves office, saying he would uphold the integrity of the office of the former president.
Even if you have mismanaged this country, I'm promising you as your brother, nishaka kuchushe yo, nikakuchindika. Nikakuchindika. Mkalamba wandi wikwata mwenso yo. Wikwata mwenso mkalamba wandi. Nkakusunganga former head of state. Pali kano kashata tukwete former head of state. Iwo kabanga former head of state. Kuma meeting, kuma nkala kupea nendeke. Na tukabia ku meeting. You are my brother. One Zambia!
In a bid to win over young people and farmers, MUNDUBILE promised to return economic opportunities in the mining sector to local youths and implement policies aimed at restoring the dignity and productivity of Zambians farming community.
Tungulu shali sapo kama mai. Mweba nensu wa UPND leaders. Mweba poka bantu wa mamai. Kumukushi. We muntu from nowhere ninkwatamba shares. From nowhere ninkwatamba shares. Muleta mfi abantu imisepela bamayana batataba lebomba. Wale sango wika shima batamfia. Yalia yonsi ya mamai nima mfiengelesha tulemi wesesha.
Area running mate Makebizulu accused the UPND administration of failing to deliver on key campaign promises.
Atiyo ubunga tukabwesha nomba ubunga buleni nafye. Efyo bachitire bakainde bebere awe nakutuna misunga bwino. Umufundo mukalapo ko bwingi. Kafuma pali 6 bags mkalasenda 10 bags. Mulapo ka 10 bags. Nomba tuwakani nafye pambale.
Several alliance partners and former cabinet ministers also took the podium, rallying support for the opposition ticket and urging voters to back what they called a new vision for Zambia. Blessings Nkhonjera reporting, Crown TV News, Lusaka.
Thank you, Blessings Nkhonjera, for that report. A medical negligence and misconduct lawsuit involving Alice Makani Vantra and her husband, Ismaili Vantra, has taken a new turn after Pearl of Health Clinic and Dr. Reward Sibanda filed a defense and counterclaim disputing the allegations leveled against them. The defendants have denied all claims of inappropriate conduct during medical consultations and procedures, maintaining that the treatment provided to Alice Vantra was professional and consistent with acceptable medical standards. According to court documents, Pearl of Health Clinic and Dr. Sibanda have outlined what they described as the actual sequence of events, including Alice's visits to the facility for contraceptive treatment and other medical consultations.
Bureau of Health Clinic and Dr. Reward Sibanda have denied allegations of medical misconduct and inappropriate behavior brought against them by Alice Makani Vantra and her husband Ismail Vantra, arguing that the claims are false and unsupported. In their defense, the defendants admit only that Alice was a patient at the clinic in 2022. They state that she received a contraceptive implant in October 2022 and returned in June 2024, complaining of continuous bleeding that had lasted for about a month, prompting her request to have the implant removed. According to the defendants, the implant was removed and Alice herself requested that an intrauterine device be inserted as an alternative form of birth control. They say she later scheduled an appointment for the procedure in July 2024. Dr. Sibanda denies making any unwelcome remarks to Alice and rejects allegations that he acted inappropriately during the procedure. The defense explains that the use of a drape was standard medical practice and that it was only lifted to allow for the insertion of the IUD. The doctor further states that discussions regarding vasectomy were purely medical and arose because Alice wanted advice on whether it would be safe for her husband to undergo the procedure as a form of birth control. He also denies ever telling her that their lives were destined to be together. The defense adds that when Alice later returned with concerns about pelvic inflammatory disease, which had reportedly been diagnosed by another doctor, he merely advised her on medication and did not suggest that the condition had been caused by her partner. However, the defendants contended that the situation was told differently from how it has been presented by the plaintiffs. They allege that Alice repeatedly made unwanted advances towards Dr. Sibanda and that when he refused to engage in any intimate relationship with her on ethical and professional grounds, she became upset. The defense claims she then involved several third parties in an attempt to persuade the doctor to enter into a relationship with her, but these efforts failed. According to Dr. Sibanda, Alice later stopped attending consultations but continued communicating with him through WhatsApp, where she allegedly discussed problems in her marriage and continued making advances towards him. The defendants further claim that she eventually resorted to blackmail in an attempt to extort money from them after her efforts to pursue a relationship with the doctor were unsuccessful. In their counterclaim, the defendants argue that Alice was struggling with confidence issues arising from marital problems and maintain that no physical or sexual relationship ever existed between her and Dr. Sibanda. They insist that she was never exploited, coerced, or induced against her will, and that the medical care she received was never compromised. Dr. Sibanda also claims that once he recognized the risk of professional boundaries being crossed, he terminated all informal communication with her. He further alleges that on several occasions, Alice followed his vehicle and demanded a sexual relationship with him as a form of closure. But as a result, the defendants argue that the plaintiffs have caused serious damage to their reputation through what they describe as malicious falsehoods. They are seeking damages, legal costs, interest, and a court order restraining the plaintiffs from publishing or causing the publication of similar allegations in the future. Kundej Sachingalesu Ngandu, reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka.
Residents of MWINE in Musawa Ward, LUKASHYA constituency, say years of neglect have left their community cut off from basic development. The poor road network across the constituency is crippling daily life, making it difficult for farmers to move produce and for children to get to school. The situation is most dire in Kapolo Stream, where locals are forced to cross on logs. Farmers now fear they won't be able to transport crops to FRA satellite depots, while parents say they're pulling children out of school because the crossing is too dangerous. Residents also accuse politicians of ignoring the roads until election time, when they only distribute caps and t-shirts as well as wrappers.
Residents of MWINE in Musawa Ward of LUKASHYA constituency have bitterly complained about years of neglect and lack of development in their area. Their biggest challenge remains the poor road network across the constituency, which is crippling daily life, despite most residents being farmers. Crossing the Kaporo stream is still dangerous, with locals forced to use logs to get across. Now, farmers are wondering how they will transport produce to the FROA satellite depots with the roads in such a state.
Nomba inonsta matava. Eko tola sambirisha abana. Uno June July akamana teka kukama. Elo mpaka pena August. Nomba ino mwaka inenga ko tukatwala matava kwa mumbi mukulu. Pakutifa tukashitishe pali amatano kusambirisha abana kusukulu.
Awo apenta pa maputa pa ba menshaingi. So apa. Pavi. Kwabuka. Tashura sana hapa. Wami okwena hapa.
Mkwai turachura sana pa kwabuka makamaka mukupisha amataba nga twera kusekira iti kurabo kuchura sana ngani chanjisa mainsa nchinga ile ibera na boto muyonse.
Parents say they are scared to send their children to school because the stream is impossible to cross safely. As a result, many pupils are dropping out.
Abale sambira kusukulu. Abe shinga baya kusukulu ngani charity. Bale fikomu. Kuchaka mwananga nakana kasamba. Kalafiro kwenda. Kabwela panshira. Akatina mayo unafiro kula kusukulu. Ame nshate shani ya fula. Nomba nishibusuma abana abengita basambirira amayinsa barirekerera batampire. Kubura mwana omunono wamubika umbi pansunsu umbi munu mara wayamu abusha. Na futi wayamubura nakambi wayabusha kwa na webute. Umbi burabushiko twamuabuire fyarifa no kufo mwana. Twamugugusha mwana kusuka.
Residents say politicians only show up during elections with caps, t-shirts and wrappers while ignoring the real issue, the road network.
Barisa tulayo kuti lao mkwai tulino kuisa muamisha kamanaka. Twarisa totere chine mkwai tabamonekana nkamo. Kuti ba tula twaya ulo tupundu. Mkwai na lero tulechura befili. Echo mkwai mwe buteko tulolekesheni po. Nga mwe bafyashi besu. Mwe bakutwimini nako.
Mwe ba unanuka bantu bakwalesa mwe buteko tulolesheni po. Atutafa mkwai ngando mkwai twasala atubepa nangukamo. Twasala bambi mkwai batubepa mkwai nangukamo nomba ifwe tukateshani mwe buteko.
Kapolo Stream lies in Mwanambo community of Musowa in LUKASHYA constituency, which is 264 kilometers from Kasama's CBD. For these residents, distance isn't just measured in kilometers, but in missed harvests, missed school days, and broken promises. Chanda Wellington reporting for Crown TV, Kasama.
Thank you, Wellington, for that report. Now we move to the letter to the President edition of our Grand News. This is a segment where you write a letter to the President and send it to us via text message or WhatsApp, and we get to read it live during the Grand News. You can send that letter to the number 0974 314 807. Tonight's letter reads:
Dear Mr. President, I write to extend my sincere appreciation for the vision and direction reflected in your party manifesto, which continues to demonstrate a strong commitment to national development, economic transformation, and improved livelihoods for the people of Zambia. The manifesto, recently launched, clearly outlines practical interventions aimed at strengthening key sectors such as agriculture, education, health, energy, and job creation. Mr. President, of particular note is the emphasis on economic empowerment, especially for young people and the women, which speaks directly to the needs and aspirations of many Zambians. Dear Mr. President, it is also encouraging to observe the focus on accountability, good governance, and prudent management of public resources. These, Mr. President, are the principles which are essential in building public trust and ensuring that developmental programs deliver real and measurable impact. Your Excellency, sir, your prioritization of infrastructure development and private sector growth further reflects a forward-looking agenda that positions Zambia for sustained economic stability and competitiveness in the region. While implementation remains the most critical aspect, Mr. President, the clarity and ambition of the manifesto provide a solid foundation for progress and national transformation. Yours, proud Zambian citizen, Kunda Chanda. From Kitwe.
Time now for the weather forecast. Central, Copperbelt, Eastern, LUAPULA, Lusaka, Muchinga, Northern, Northwestern, Southern and Western provinces will see mainly sunny skies tomorrow, slightly windy and warm to hot. Maximum temperatures will range from 23 degrees Celsius to 31 degrees Celsius. The evening will be clear, slightly windy and mild to cool. This weather update is as compiled by the Zambia Meteorological Department, a department under the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment. We take a short break. When we are back, we have more stories coming up. Stay tuned.
On a busy day in Lusaka, right in the middle of a vlogging, Mr. Simon Mwela's phone battery died. Well, he knew what to do next. He called Zambia's top cell phone and accessories dealer. In a flash, problem solved. Across town, Dr. Siatwambo was getting ready for a presentation when he realized that his PA forgot something. A quick call to Mobile City and his projector screen was delivered in no time. Meanwhile, Vana Fiasasa was about to leave for the village when she remembered she needed a phone upgrade. One call to Mobile City and a new phone arrived just in time. Vana Fiasasa snapping a selfie before hitting the road? But wait, I thought the other guys were in a hurry. For free, fast and reliable delivery, trust Mobile City. Beware of scammers. Mobile City Delivery. You order, we deliver.
Are you passionate about making a positive impact on communities? Do you dream of a career that combines psychology, social justice, and community empowerment?
Enroll in our June 2026 intake for the Diploma in Child and Adolescent Mental Health, community-based work with children and youth.
Dive into a transformative journey of learning and advocacy.
Immerse yourself in courses that explore human development, social policy, and diverse perspectives. Gain hands-on experience through community projects and internships.
REPSI is a TVETA accredited institution and offers all programs through online situated distance learning. You'll be empowered with the skills to create real lasting impact in communities.
Join us in shaping a brighter, more inclusive future for children and young people. Enroll with us for a program that equips you with the skills to create real, lasting impact.
To start your application, email us admissions.zambia@repsi.org or www.repsi.org or our Facebook page @RepsiZambia or call 0770-707-924. Together, let's make a difference through love, care, and protection for children.
The Ultimate Business Stage is back. From the 1st to the 7th of July, the Trade Fairgrounds in Ndola will be buzzing with endless opportunities. But how does your business stand out in the crowd? You get on the big screen with Crown TV. We will be live in Ndola, ready to take your brand straight into the homes of millions. From primetime commercials to exclusive event coverage, we create advertising that drives real results. Don't miss out. Visit the Crown TV stand in Ndola between July 1st and July 7th or contact our sales team today to secure your special trade fair advertising package. Crown TV. Feel the honor.
Kalamba agricultural camp farmers receive insurance training. Time now for the agriculture news segment. The Ministry of Agriculture, in partnership with Zisk Insurance, has conducted farmer input support program and crop insurance sensitization meetings in Lengwe, Munkata, and Kalamba agricultural camps. Speaking to Nais, LUAPULA Province Agricultural Coordinator Godwin Chate encouraged farmers to plant early due to changing weather patterns and urged them to safeguard their FISP SIM cards. ZISC Insurance Agricultural Specialist Rebecca Manda explained how FISP insurance works, while FULA facilitator Lukundo Msonda provided guidance on the Air Yield Index Insurance Program.
The Ministry of Agriculture, in partnership with ZISC Insurance, has conducted Farmers Input Support Program FISIP and Crop Insurance Sensitization meetings in Lengwe, Mungata, and Kalamba agriculture camps. Speaking to NICE, LUAPULA Province Agricultural Coordinator Godwin Chate encouraged farmers to plant early due to changing weather patterns.
Infrateyakaloke bwino mu 2026-2027. That's why twaisa muku because we started his ties. Mufire mwa byara bwangu nga mwachero kubyara nga mwaza kwatesha mu mtetukize musombo. Nomba ikisima chakwe bati kuri insurance nga byasa kano kuba bwino fyo mukabyara baziski bakesa Mr. Compensate but not to Mr. Compensate ati kubusomboshi ngabalino kusombola amasaka 60 buli 1 tabakamiste compensate kuri 60 bucks bakasa bitabe compensate kuri fertilizer mwabiki so that amunushi so for our insurance
and urged them to safeguard their FISIP SIM cards.
So to tell konkomesha takobati ida ine SIM card mwalembe shapo ya mwirachinja nangu mwaisa kumanza mwasanga yate utailibomba kayo tutotumbucha kati mwasanga yate utailibomba mwashita MTN ero bambo kuchinja mu system kiraka tulifafi efile nga tulecherwa last year kwali ko kucherwa nga this year tulefire ngakwa na November 30 nimishibonsa balimi bayisungira limo ifite.
ZISC Insurance Agricultural Specialist Rebecca Manda explains how FISIP insurance works.
Tukwamisha tubazisi general because kwali wa satellite yo yale ne bazambia meteorological department babomfyanga bambo kumitumi na ma message na mule kutika news mule tamba news bale mebatawe next week kukabe mfule ya so na mutayakaloke ngoku area kukabe mpepo kabasana kasuba efyo fine fete machine tubomfi so msangata yene ma machine yala tuweba atukuno ku area kuno kwa kawambo tayakaloke na mukabasana mfule yingi na kwa kabisha na ngwa Ministry of Agriculture ila wesa mukitama na makampo kisa bale mebatawe ifukwa kabisha dimbikwalaba ifidoyo amalwere fyo mwala sombwa limbitafya bwino mno mfichingirire bwino so tubomfya mamashi but ngana mumona ati chaya kububisana eja nomba mwaya kuiba camp officer mwabebe nabo basaranda kuiba district officer nabo fyala province tubomba nabakalambaka ku Ministry of Agriculture so bakesa tuwe batsela taona mukwata ama satellites abantu kabwambo kufintu na fyo naika muloleshebo ela sometimes musanga nanga yena ama satellites yatwebera masasanga na kofine twaisa kuno bwangu twaisa lolesha twa chachine kudifintu tafidi bwino.
While PULA facilitator Lukundo Msonda provided guidance on the Air Yield Index Insurance Program.
Pochipiri bula na mwistomo ingabomba na mwistomo tetibomba. So nalaba ya poganda mwistomo ingabomba. Na anda na mwistomo tetibomba. Then na ese ndande na ufo ibomba mkwai. So mwistomo ingabomba. Pilianga kwa kabisha. Kwa kabisha kwa tamabala yao naika. Kwena wafuisho wala isa. Na kwa taralisha. Tamabala nga yao naika. Wafuisho wala isa. Na kwa wemfula ya magwe. Bwafuisho wala isa nga infula ya fulisha ya naola mabala bwafuisho mkwati wa isa.
Martin Chawanzi Nkoma, NICE, Kawambwa District.
Government has called for urgent climate preparedness across Africa following projections showing an over 80% chance of an El Nino event developing later this year and continuing into early 2027. Speaking on behalf of Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment at the opening of the 21st Africa Continental Climate Outlook Forum in Lusaka, Director of Human Resources and Administration, Rainford Simumbwe, says early preparation is critical to reducing the impact of climate shocks.
After suffering a devastating drought in 2024 that disrupted food production, reduced water levels, and triggered energy challenges, Zambia and other African countries could once again re-experience this predicament. It is for this reason that climate experts have gathered in Lusaka for the 21st Africa Continental Climate Outlook Forum to discuss preparedness measures and strengthen climate services ahead of the projected El Nino event. Speaking during the meeting, experts warned that projections show an over 80% chance of El Nino conditions strengthening later this year and exceeding into early 2027. This development may yet again risk droughts, floods, and other extreme weather events across the continent.
Current forecasts from global producing centers suggest the possibility of another El Nino event developing during the latter part of 2026. While uncertainty remains regarding its magnitude and localized impacts, the science is sufficiently clear for us to begin strengthening preparedness measures. The cost of early preparation is always far lower than the cost of late response.
Our experience with El Nino has not been pleasant. We know that in 2015 to 2016 we had another event, and during that time Southern Africa as well as West Africa, they were actually battered by drought, while East Africa had experienced flooding.
With climate shocks becoming more frequent, experts say strengthening early warning systems and translating climate information into practical action will be critical in protecting lives and economies.
Climate projections indicate a high chance of El Nino strengthening in the last half of this year and possibility of its extension to early 2027 with a probability of above 80%. It's my hope that this forum will create a common understanding of climate drivers and anticipated impacts.
You heard about the term ENSO, the El Niño in Southern Association, which is happening now. And all part of the world, all centers, all people are discussing about it. And we think as Africa, we need also to talk about it, but to tailor it in our context of Africa. So we are very happy for the leadership of AUC to have such a vision for Africa to ensure that we will take the opportunity of ENSO coming in.
The government of the Republic of Zambia has since emphasized that investments in weather monitoring, early warning systems, and climate resilience remain key to ensuring communities are better prepared and able to respond before climate hazards become disasters. Reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka, Chanda Mwango.
That's the agriculture news for tonight. We take a short break.
Numerous cases of people falling asleep have been reported across the African continent. No one can explain this phenomenon.
With 24/7 FIFA World Cup coverage, sleep can wait. Everything can wait.
Catch all 104 matches from as little as 255 kwacha, only on GoTV.
The ultimate business stage is back. From the 1st to the 7th of July, the trade fairgrounds in Ndola will be buzzing with endless opportunities. But how does your business stand out in the crowd? You get on the big screen with Crown TV. We will be live in Ndola, ready to take your brand straight into the homes of millions. From primetime commercials to exclusive event coverage, we create advertising that drives real results. Don't miss out. Visit the Crown TV stand in Ndola between July 1st and July 7th or contact our sales team today to secure your special trade fair advertising package. Crown TV. Feel the honor.
Thank you very much for staying with us. We now continue with these stories. The Zambia Police Service on the Copperbelt, in partnership with the Geneva Center for Security Sector Governance, DCAF, has opened a 3-week workshop for officers. The training focused on election security preparedness ahead of the August polls. Copperbelt Province Police Commissioner Mwala says the officers need to be equipped with the tools and intelligence needed to ensure peaceful, free and fair elections.
The campaign mode is already here, and so are the police officers tasked with ensuring security is maintained across the province. Over 60 police officers are currently undergoing training ahead of the elections.
What we are here for in Ndola is a training on election security preparedness of the police officers. As you are well aware, this year we'll be having elections in August. It is a very critical period. So we are having to train our police officers on how to secure the elections, how to ensure that we have peaceful, secure elections. So we are training police intelligence officers and CID officers on strategic security planning and execution of their duty.
Meanwhile, Copperbelt Province Police Commanding Officer Mwala says officers must oversee credible elections and protect everyone involved in the process.
Prepared for the elections. Elections are a very, very important, component to democracy. So if you have police officers who are serious stakeholders to elections without knowledge, then you have a problem. Hence, these workshops, the facilitators will be here in the Copperbelt for a couple of weeks, just to see to it that our officers are hands-on with what goes on in elections. We don't want officers who are reactive. We want them to be proactive.
But all these cannot be achieved without adequate financial support.
We've been training with yourselves as the media last week. We have training with the Human Rights Commission. This is a collective responsibility to ensure the citizens of Zambia have a free and fair election, and it's a peaceful election. And the training this week is vital on creating that peaceful election, and also information and intelligence on how you gather that to ensure there are peaceful elections. We are working effectively, and we thank the police for their enthusiasm and their professionalism that they've shown so far, and that will continue in the weeks to come as we do this training.
For Crown TV News, I'm David Kunda in Ndola District, Copperbelt Province.
Thank you, David Kunda, for that report. And now our reporter Tawanda Munyuki reports that the challenge of indiscriminate waste disposal in Lusaka has persisted, with many households and businesses failing to subscribe to approved waste management services. As a result, large quantities of waste are often dumped in undesignated areas, including drainage systems, contributing to blocked waterways, environmental pollution, and increased flooding risks during rainy season. Lusaka City Council Public Relations Manager Chola Mwamba says the situation has placed pressure on the local authority, which has continued to spend significant resources on clearing drains and repairing damaged infrastructure.
The Lusaka City Council says it will not hesitate to take offenders engaged in illegal dumping of waste in drainage systems to fast-track courts as it intensifies efforts to protect critical drainage infrastructure across the city. The council has warned residents, traders and businesses dumping waste in drainage channels, particularly the Bombe drain, to immediately stop the practice or face arrest and prosecution. According to Council Public Relations Manager Chola Mwamba, despite recent rehabilitation works carried out on a collapsed section of the Bombe drain, illegal dumping of plastics, solid waste and other refuse continues, threatening the integrity of the infrastructure and obstructing water flow. Mwamba says blocked drainage systems are a major cause of flash floods during the rainy season, resulting in damage to property, roads, businesses and public infrastructure. She says council's enforcement officers, working closely with the Zambia police, will intensify patrols and surveillance along primary drainage channels to identify and apprehend offenders. She has warned that those found breaking the law will face prosecution, heavy fines, and be held liable for cleanup costs and any damages caused. For Crown TV News, Tawanda Munyuki.
The United States government has handed over newly built infrastructure worth $5.8 million to the Zambia Army. The infrastructure, which was built at the Kenneth Kaunda Peace Training Center in Chongwe District, includes a multi-purpose hall, a 400-capacity dining hall, storage facilities, outdoor classrooms, 4 warehouses, an engagement skills trainer, and renewable facilities. United States Embassy Chief of Mission Mitch Cocker said the American government has decided to provide the infrastructure because Zambia is now a leader in peacekeeping efforts worldwide. Mr. Cocker said Zambia has earned a reputation of being a country which serves humanity and preserves peace worldwide. He said the United States government wants to support the Kenneth Kaunda Peace Training Center so that it can be a top trainer of peacekeepers on the African continent. And in receiving the infrastructure, Ministry of Defense Foreign Secretary Mambo as it will help the Zambia Army prepare its troops adequately before deployment under the United Nations. Now, the government has reaffirmed its commitment to creating a conducive environment for business to grow and contribute to the country's economic development. Speaking during the launch of the Rights on Zambia, Acting Director at the Ministry of Transport and Logistics, Emmanuel Samba, who represented the Permanent Secretary, said the government recognizes the important role innovative transport solutions play in improving mobility, creating employment opportunities, and driving economic growth.
Our role is to facilitate an environment where innovation can flourish while ensuring that all operators function with framework of established laws, regulations, and standards. We remain committed to promoting a level playing field that enables both existing and emerging service providers to compete fairly and contribute to national development. So we are not just stuck with one platform. We expect more platforms to come. That is how we promote competition, and that is how we lower costs. You provide
our approach on its own. It will tell you that we care about your people and your families. For example, if you are part of this movement, which is futuristic, maybe you are taking care of you have a family of 7, maybe you have 7 kids.
with our approach, which is flexible, which allows you not to stress. Because we have discovered that a lot of us, as from different departments, they are stressing financially. So our approach wants to ease that stress.
We see the connection, people, business people and community while supporting government efforts to promote innovation, creation and private sector development. Ladies and gentlemen, we recognize that the access of this initiative will depend on strong partnership. We therefore look forward to work closely with the government institutions, regulator, drivers, and courier operators.
This launch allows us now to go in full effect. We shall be coming to communities, business entities, schools, hospitals, na kujere.
We take a short break. On the flip side, sports news.
Everyone wonders why I'm always jovial and happy. Every day, every time. At work, even under pressure. At play, always under control. Even with Bay, I always shine. And today, I get to share my secret companion, Best Kombucha. Gives me the energy but also boosting my immune system as I go by my day-to-day activities.
Toileta mami we best kombucha sonwemu. Toileta daddy we best kombucha sonwemu. Iye nani best kombucha. Best kombucha. Iye nani mo kombucha.
Now you know.
Best kombucha. Iye nani best kombucha. You three come best kombucha.
Number ulefwaya usende ati ya munani. Badi iyi nshirapusha no kutunga shuwa.
Alala kentrande na imwe. Mana nwamingisha nomba munganda? Ha? Mana nwamingisha munganda?
Tabaina pa kulala ero fili fulu. Tabaina kulingalala mwanziyo. Na laisa zemunza kamana.
Vipu fili chalo kense kukosa vendasa kama na fyo mweobe.
Abantu abalefu efyupo muno mu kyalo bengi sana.
Nomba ina wamwisa nali upo hapo.
Ina ne ali kulondera ine pano wafe. Olwo abantu abaleta mboti bakweba. Ati kweba ati ine nshau papo. Nshakwatapo mwana.
Ine ninjipelesha kulima ngamuli serious. Munjo ati ndi serious. Kozi ine shirafuwa kusebana kuchalo.
Kuti wana pa beneka.
Ibo mwefa kupa ine. Ngakwalo mwana kashuwa isunga pano pachalo. Pona aba. Ine na imwe. Waza pikira de vingani.
This sports news is sponsored by Nutricom, the manufacturers of Best Kombucha and Divine Power Kombucha.
Soccer fraternity concerned over NORA'S continued absence from the squad. Let's take a word from our sponsor before we get to the details.
Everyone wonders why I'm always jovial and happy. Every day, every time. At work, even under pressure. At play, always under control. Even with Bay, I always shine. And today, I get to share my secret. My secret companion, Best Kombucha. Gives me the energy but also boosting my immune system as I go by my day-to-day activities.
Toileta mami we best kombucha sonwengu. Toileta daddy we best kombucha sonwengu. Iye nani best kombucha. Best kombucha. Iye nani mwa kombucha.
Now you know.
Best kombucha. Iye nani best kombucha. You three kom best kombucha.
The soccer fraternity has expressed concern over coach NORA'S continued absence from the national team. With the Women's Africa Cup of Nations kickstarting in July, coach Nora Haptel is reportedly not in the country. Soccer Fans Association Chairman Yota Mwanza says this calls for worry as it will affect the team's performance at the tournament.
The 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations, the WAFCON, kicks off on 25th July 2026. It will go all the way until August 16, 2026. The Copper Queens began preparations with the Four Nations tournament, which was held in Dola at the BEMOAN Stadium. The Copper Queens won the tournament after beating Zimbabwe 3-0 in the final. However, despite the win, a number of soccer fans have expressed concern over the team's performance. In their first game against Kenya, they played to a 1-0 draw.
Although when you look at it, the first game was much of a struggle. That ended 1-1, then the team had to win on post-match penalties. Only into the second game against Zimbabwe did the team play well and they won 3-0. But then there should have been a continuity into that. The coach should have stuck around and be able to prepare the team for a major tournament of the WAFCON type. You all know that the group where we are, there's Nigeria there, who last time around were able to butcher us.
Another concern the soccer fans have is the continuous absence of the Copper Queens coach, Nora Haptel. Nora Haptel has continuously been absent from the Copper Queens. After the Four Nations tournament, Nora went back to Switzerland. Soccer Fans Association's chairperson, Yota Mwanza, says this is a source of worry for the Copper Queens. He says this might negatively impact the team's performance at the tournament.
It must be a worry not only to to us as fans, but even to the Zambian FA as well, because they need to look at the kind of person that they have employed, that is into their employ, who must, in all certainty, must be able to stick around, be able to follow the guidelines that the Zambian FA have given him. For starters, I think she must be able to look around for talent. I know some will be able to argue that the season is out, it's on recess, but sometimes call the players that did well in the previous season, sit down with them, into camp, into training, assess them, and be able to look at them. I think this is what he's supposed to do, as opposed to a situation where we have now, which is a copy and paste from the old players that we all know, the players that Bruce Mape left, and these are the players that are coming into the Zambia national team.
And soccer analyst Pancharello Tama says the FA should ensure that they work on this issue of her absence.
Her base should be in Zambia, which for now is not the case. So what the Football Association of Zambia should do is that they should obviously maintain her. Those are basically, based on how things are turning out, those are basically the terms of her contract, I believe. And maybe in future, if we are bringing in a national team coach, we must make sure that they are mostly based here in Zambia and not just coming for national team assignments.
The Copper Queens will be looking forward to qualifying for the World Cup the second time in a row, having qualified for the 2023 edition. For Crown TV Sports, Lenosi Victoria in Lusaka.
2022 Birmingham Commonwealth champion Mzala Samkonga will lead the 2026 athletics team. Samkonga, who will be looking forward to defending his 400-meter title, will lead a team of 6 track athletes that will include Edna Ngandula, Nidi Mingilishi, Imelda Katunjila, among others. Zambia Athletics President Major Bernard Walia says the aim is for Zambia to give the best performance at world stage.
We are going to Commonwealth with two objectives, or rather three objectives. The first objective is to compete favorably to ensure that we represent the country with the best competitive form that we can offer. The second one is to at least win a medal there. It can be very nice that we consistently, remember the last Commonwealth Games, we won a medal. If we can win a medal again this year, meaning that we are maintaining that momentum. The third objective, and the most cardinal, is that to ensure our athletes qualify to the World Championship, which will be held in China, in Beijing. The Commonwealth will be also the qualifying games for the World Championship. So the athletes that are going to do better, because we've already started qualifying our athletes. So if our athletes can do better there in the Commonwealth, we are safely assured that they can easily qualify to the World Championship. The standard that they have set, World Athletics for World Championship, are not easy to beat.
Now from athletics, we go to basketball. For the first time in 2 years, Matero Magic will not be the team flying Zambia's flag at the Basketball Africa League. That honor now belongs to Munali Sands after the Junta Boys dethroned the 12-time champions 76-70 in Game 3 of the National Championship Finals. The 2-1 series win ends a 3-year wait and brings the title to Munali for the first time since 2023. The win signals a shift at the top of Zambia's basketball. Munali Sands head coach Conrad Musonda says the team overcame a difficult season to get here, and now attention turns to ball preparations.
For the first time in over 2 seasons, Matero Magic will not represent Zambia at the Basketball Africa League. This time around, Munali Sands will do the honor as they are the new national champions. They beat Matero Magic 76-70 in the decisive Game 3 of the National Championship Finals, clinching the series 2-1 and capture their first title since 2023. Munali Sands head coach, Conrad Musonda, says he's proud of the team for overcoming Matero Magic despite a difficult season. Training resumes next week as Munali begins preparations for BAO. Musonda says the team will study Matero Magic's performance to identify areas for improvement and come back stronger. Musonda confirms the squad for next season will include both local and national players as the Suns look to build depth.
It feels good. It just shows that whatever went through the season, it's been hard season, and we prepared well for it, and we delivered. It feels very good. We'll start planning for BAO next week, but for us, we will always learn from your competitors. So we'll see what Matero did, where they fell short. For us, we will always learn from your competitors. So we'll see what Matero did, where they fell short, and we will try not to feel to make sure that we do better than them. So we learn from their mistakes, and then we'll see where we go.
He adds that the team will work harder every day to maintain their championship status and defend the title. Coach Musonda says the result shows Zambian basketball is growing and competition levels are rising across the league.
Well, in terms of competition, it shows that Zambia is not stagnant in terms of competition. Not only one club is winning it. Anybody can win it in Zambia. That's a good part about it. So it shows that we are competing amongst ourselves at the highest level. And if you don't put in the work, it will show. You will lose your slot. So for the competition side of it, other teams are also working hard. Other teams are recruiting hard. We've seen this year Huskies were in the top 4. So it should tell you something.
The coach thanks Munali supporters fans for standing with the team throughout the competition. Loveness Simpson reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka.
That item brings us to the end of the sports news.
This sports news is sponsored by Nutricom, the manufacturers of Best Kombucha and Divine Power Kombucha.
And now, before we take leave, let's have a look at the stories making headlines once again. President HH urges LUAPULA voters to renew UPND mandate. Sports betting addiction tears family apart. MUNDUBILE pledges to respect HH once in opposition. And in sports, soccer fraternity concerned over NORA'S continued absence. My name is Seidlitz Nkhonjera. Pleasant viewing.